I really don't want to do this one. It's TMNT time! Unfortunately. A couple of months ago, we had a look at Mondo movies. All the good movies, all the good memories, all the fun times and childhood memories. But now, if you look at the good, you also gotta have a look at the bad. It's like a yin and yang thing. So today, we're looking at the shell-shockingly bad movies, which created special figures. Let's have a look. Starting this one off with the fairly recent 2014 movie figures. Series 1, we got all 4 turtles in their glorious movie design. Okay, I'm not gonna beat around the bush with these guys. Those are some of the most hideous Ninja Turtles figures that I have in my collection. And I did a recent count, I have about 605, so there you go with that. I feel like this design will just never ever grow on me. I mean, I watched the movie and it's been so many years, but still, every time I look at these figures, I'm just like... So they were going for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I guess the mutant part was very important to the designers, as they had something in mind that was just ugly. But then again, the script by Michael Bay, the first one, was supposed to be Alien Turtles, so maybe he tried to do a remake of Butt Ugly Martians. Who knows? Now, as far as the figures go, those are very close to the movie designs. Unfortunately. Okay, but to be fair, I'm not here to just rag on the figure for 20 minutes. Nah, there is a lot of detail that comes with the new designs. You can love it or hate it, but I've never seen turtles that had this much stuff going on. Especially Donnie came packed with a backpack that's almost on Ghostbusters levels, complete with thermal goggles and a headset. Now, not all is completely bad, because there are some parts of the design which I didn't even mind that much. First one being Leonardo, who's rocking some kind of samurai armor in his chest. I mean, bits and pieces of it. I mean, they're mutants living in the sewers, for crying out loud, so I can forgive that. And we got some shoulder pads and shin pads going on, at least on one side. And we got some Asian-looking, ninja-looking sandals and socks for 2 toes, I guess. Well. And finally, the one who got the best deal out of this, in my opinion, would be Raph. Now, he looks super rugged as usual. He has the battle damage. He's the more rough guy of the 4, which is represented very well in his outfit because he wears the least amount of armor at all, not even shoulder pads or knee pads or whatnot. I mean, it's really just bandages, which makes him look kind of badass, I'm not gonna lie. Now, of course, they couldn't just get away with a completely good design, so they added sunglasses to it because that's what we really needed. Bah. Now, the designs might be hit and miss, but what was universally panned were the butt ugly faces. I mean, okay, again, going back to the mutant part, we're gonna make something that just looks hideous. The detailed nose was just not a good idea, and the human-looking lips made them just look scary. And Mikey just got the worst out of the deal. His head looks like it got smushed on birth. What the hell? Another thing that I'm not really getting, if it's just complete laziness or stupidity or whatever, they didn't even bother making the bandanas right. The long parts just hang off of the rest of it. They don't have it knotted. No, it's just there. Floaty, flappy, and ugly, like most of this figure. They did do one good figure though, and it's Raph in a trench coat. Now, there's 2 things about this figure. First and foremost, I love the idea, and the way they executed it, it looks just silly. And it's supposed to look silly, so I get the joke, I'm in on the joke, and I'm laughing with you, haha. But what's even better is that all of this hideous turtle design is hidden behind a trench coat, wrapped up hands, and a nice scarf. Also has a hat that doesn't really stay on, that's why I don't really keep it on there. But the trench coat is completely soft plastic. Can pull it down, and as I said, there's nothing really to hold on to the hat. But you can also take the scarf off if you want to. But why would you? Keep that on. Just, no. No, we don't want to see that. Ugh. Now for your articulation, the main game is hinges on pegs. The head is on a ball joint but has no room, hence why it's more like a swivel. Then we got hinges on pegs in the shoulder, hinges on pegs in the elbow which you can rotate around. For whatever reason, nothing going on in the hands. Hinges on pegs in the leg which you can once again rotate. Same for the knee, hinges on a peg which you can rotate, and that's it. I think that size-wise they would be a lot bigger because they were huge in the movie, and it would be right. I mean, at least they got that. They're also a lot thinner looking, and overall, maybe that's a thing that also makes them less appealing than the classics, which don't stand on their feet. And thus, the 2014 return to the movies ended in something that was just ugly, man. I mean, I can't get over this. So the redesigns of the Turtles ended up being nightmare fuel to longtime fans and kids alike, but still, it didn't make good enough to warrant a sequel. Oh my god. Thus, in 2016, we got the sequel, TMNT Out of the Shadows. Hooray! I wish they would have stayed in the shadows, please. Now I feel like at this point Playmates stepped in and said, nobody wants these butt-ugly things sitting at their store shelves, so we gotta do something about it. As a result, every turtle now is rocking a bright green skin tone and have a lot nicer expressions going on. Now don't get me wrong, Mikey's face is still ugly, but it seems a bit more tolerable this time around. I could be wrong though, maybe I'm just over the shock of how bad the first one looked, that I'm a little bit more tolerable with the second release, I don't know. On the flip side though, they still had really stupid design choices, like a bling on Mikey, sunglasses, and he now wears a backpack for whatever reason. He's a teenager! Mommy, can I go outside and play with my friends? Yay! That was a very bad portrayal of a teenager, but then again I'm holding very bad portrayals of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in my hand, so forgive me for that one, please. Even though I praised Leo's samurai outfit, they completely ditched that for a simple, just shirtless design and black pants. And that's really it. Some more armor on the sides, but taped up feet, that's basically the same, but overall, there's not as much going on anymore as we had with the previous one. The one thing that should stick out to you, especially with Leo, is that they made the characters a lot more colorful. At least in their figure form, that is. Donnie still tacked out, but also rocking sunglasses because, get it? He's a nerd! Which also leads me to a common theme for the 2014 and the 2016 movie figures. Not only are they some of the ugliest, but they also got the laziest paint jobs ever. What the hell is this? Why do we paint the front of it, even blue and gray, and then be like, yeah, that's about enough. What? I guess as compensation we get 2 silver shiny GoPros on the side of it and another shiny belt buckle, or whatever the hell this techno stuff is supposed to be. He does still have his backpack, now looking even more like Ghostbusters, and a bunch of headphones, which you can actually remove. Now I like that. Special shoutouts though to the Super Nintendo controller, which is strapped to his forearm. Now for the rest of it, it looks like army pants and boots, and for whatever reason, orange straps around his knee? What? No, you're Donnie, not Mikey. I know the people making that movie were very confused, but you're Donnie, right? Right? And then there's also Raph. I mean, I'm sorry, at this point I'm just powered out. Peace, that's it. They killed me. But no. Show must go on. Shoutouts to Freddie Mercury. I can't sing, so I'm sorry about that. But hey, once again, just like Leonardo, I kinda dug the old design of Raphael. The new design though, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Especially, is this a belt or is this a shirt that's supposed to be wrapped around him? Because this kind of ends over here. It's just like, again, we only want to paint the front and we only want to do the front, and what's in the back, nobody cares. Especially if you look at these clamps that are attached to his pants. What is that even? I mean, to attach a size, I don't know. Let me attach a size. Let's see. Is that practical? That doesn't seem practical at all. Okay, there we go. Is this practical? I'm walking. Ow, my size. Ow, my size. See the problem there? And I get it. It's a kid's toy, but still, this is stupid. Putting it up here doesn't really fit, so yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. They don't know. I don't know. It's just everybody's confused about these figures. The people who made them, the people who made the movie, me now reviewing them, it's just like it's an entire circle of confusion. So regardless of all of that, the articulation is basically the same. It's on a ball joint, but it doesn't have any room, only has some wiggle motion side to side and back and forth. Hinges that rotate around, hinge that rotates around, and now a swivel in the hand. Oh, evolution. Amazing. Still nothing going on in the chest, even though they could have easily. I mean, we're already cutting off this part. Just cut the entire figure in half and have a swivel in the torso, right? Legs on hinges that rotate around that don't have the same color as the pants, so it sticks out like a sore thumb. Knee on hinge that rotates around. I mean, you get the gist of it, right? It's on hinges that rotate around. Now, as far as size goes, for the Out of the Shadows turtles, yeah, nothing really changed. I mean, what the hell do you expect? Of course they're the same. So just in case you couldn't tell already, I wasn't a big fan of TMNT Out of the Trash Can. Neither the movie nor the figures. However, I do believe there was a little bit of improvement by making these guys more colorful and brighter and just, you know, just maybe not as ugly as previously. So that's a little bit of an improvement. And that's basically like getting punched in the face twice and saying the second time wasn't so bad. So enough with all this new crap. Let's go back to the golden oldies. I mean, there's gotta be a TMNT movie from the 90s that I forgot that was awesome, right? So let's just get this over with and relive my childhood trauma, dig out some corpses. Movie-free TMNT, released in 1993, brought us the turtles in completely new designs from the movie where they went back in time and made everything wrong. With expectations sky high, this movie. For the last couple of years, I've been trying to deny the existence of this movie, but here we are. While the Michael Bay movies were just bad and boring and ugly, I have a personal history with this one. I never saw TMNT III when I was a kid. I only saw the movie when I was around, I don't know, 10, 12 years old, but still bursting with excitement that I could finally watch the one TMNT movie I had never seen. Boy, was that the biggest disappointment of my entire TMNT fandom. But hey, enough about the movie, this is TMNT Toy Throwback, so we gotta have a look at the figures, which were actually pretty darn good. Who would have thought? Yeah, it's actually one of those rare cases where the figures are better than anything about the movie. Starting off with the designs. Movie 3's big feature was that the turtles traveled back to ancient Japan and then covered themselves up in Shogun armor to blend in more, and they got that with the figures and made it better. Because the turtles in the movie all had the exact same armor, but the toy turtles all had completely different armor, which was super colorful and still had one of the coolest features I've ever seen. A removable mask that actually fits super nicely, so good that I barely can take it off, which still coincides with the movie. Have you figured it out yet, crowd? These figures are better than the movie, so I'm just gonna stop saying it, which is not a huge accomplishment on itself because the movie was trash. So what we got was a nice mixture of color and surprisingly nice detail. I mean, there's stuff in the rope, these little spots that are painted, all the armor, and everything underneath. It's just nicely painted and nicely molded, and there's not a dull thing about this figure. And we haven't had a great look at it yet because of the cool mask feature, but there's also very cool movie accurate faces under there. The only real similarity is the chest armor, the crotch armor, if you want to call it that, and the rope. Well, you know, except for one guy. It's Raph! Yes, he really got the favorable treatment out of all the turtles, which it seems like he has a completely different design, more impressive, more extensive, and just a whole lot more stuff going on. More! It should be pretty clear just by looking at his chest with all the detail in there The red, the shiny silver, and the dark green just make for an incredible look. While he still has the rope going on, it's only noticeable in the back, and there's really nothing in the front. Then you got the shoulder plates and golden forearm pads, and he still has his nice red belt with some more armor going on in his legs, his feet, his shins, and even the back. There's so much stuff to look at it with this guy. It's incredible. Now, in big contrast to the original movie Turtles, these guys aren't rubbery at all. They're actually super sturdy, which is actually kind of weird considering the face. It's just a sturdy material compared to what we had before, but we still retain the movie look, which I'm just a huge fan of it. It's a shame we didn't get more Playmates Turtles looking like these. And I'm guessing it is mostly because of the sturdier plastic, but we're losing a lot of points in the articulation area. Starting off with the hat, which is still on the ball joint, and due to the long neck, it is okay. Has full rotation and some wriggle motion. Ball joints in the shoulder, which don't have the greatest range. There's a swivel in the forearm, which is just blocked by the armor. Nothing in the chest area. The legs just being on swivels as well. No ball joints. That's a stray from the norm. And nothing else going on in your leg articulation. Or lack thereof. So sure, the movie Free Turtles can definitely be considered oddities. But to me, the oddest thing about these guys is the fact that they by far outclass the movie that they're based on. And in my book, that counts for something. Something that the other figures on this episode have not been doing. Oh no! Not even close! Oh my god. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to nobody's perfect. And hey, I've always been sharing nice memories and good times on TMNT Toy Throwback, so it was about time we had a look at some not so favorable stuff. But then again, I never imagined myself making a butt ugly Martians reference in any of my videos. Hey, shoutouts to everybody who even got that reference. But so was the fate of the Turtles after Hollywood got to them. And getting some people involved who just want to do something else. I want to do my own thing, yeah. If you want to do your own thing, that's fine. But you don't have to drag down an old beloved IP with it. And by the way, that goes for everything and not just Ninja Turtles. I know, this statement was more aimed at all the shows that are trying to make funky new reboots. But let's forget about that for a second and focus on the good things, that even if a Turtles movie sucks, we still might get cool figures from it. So that's gonna do it for this episode of TMNT Toy Throwback, Shellschockingly Bad Movies. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this show, hit it up with a like, subscribe for more, and stay tuned for more TMNT Toy Throwback.